All right, good day. Today is Tuesday, May 7th, and look at this trailhead. This place is rocking. I bet you 10 cars have come in and gone since I've got here. So I'm walking at the Bridgeport trailhead. It was about an hour outside of Fruita. I took back roads with my car GPS, so I got to see more of like the housing developments and stuff. Cool area. So this is probably a good 2.5 miles following the track, crossing the river, so not the most exciting. This would actually be a good time for a sunbrella if you had one. Don't know how far I'm going to make it up because it's already almost 2 o'clock today, but time to get rolling, see if I can make some miles now and maybe get a shot over the Colorado River by the bridge. All right, so I'm now what I call the trailhead. So it's 2 miles just to get here. And since I was here last time, these fences all look new because even when I look at the screws in them, they're all nice and shiny. So nice signage right here. There's a register where you sign in. So there's another bridge over there, and believe it or not, it's actually private land. Big signs on it. Last time I was here, I think I remember seeing a car on it and looking at it like, oh my goodness. So, all right, here I am crossing the bridge right now, and I'm still deciding actually which trailer I'm going to start with, but I think I'm going to go with the Little Dominguez. I have not been there yet. There is a cabin there. I believe Mr. Rambo, he was a hermit, deceased. Should be water along there, but since today I'm kind of doing the second part of my leg and I'm not really getting started till after 2, I'm probably going to go maybe about 3 hours of hiking, 5-6 miles into it, because tomorrow I have to literally turn around and then go into the other canyon. So, all right, time to get started. River's pretty high, and you can already see some tents there on the shoreline. And over here again, there's that private road and bridge. All right, so last time I was here, over here there was Man-Made Area Junction, about 2 feet wide, where it had running water and it was crystal clear. It's not running right now. Luckily, the waterfall is certainly on. And I think it's even bigger when I saw it before. So that obviously was where my water supply will be coming from, but if you take the trail down here, you can actually get up close to it. But that's the nice thing. There is water out here. And right now, boy, part of me wants to go into that for like 5 seconds. But all right, my junction should be in a mile or 2. And again, I'm going to try Little Dominguez Canyon. So there are a lot of relics along the way. Pictographs, and old areas from ranchers and farmers. So at one point in time, this is probably used to store grains and animal products. Old tins, modern graffiti, fenced in area, so obviously probably for their horses that were corralled in. And there is some good shade built into it as well. Had to have been a tough life. All right, we'll walk through this. Grab that barbed wire. Yeah, so many corrals. Probably a water storage tank. Seen better days. Another corral area, so numbered as well. Definitely neat. If you had a lot of time, I'm sure you could just walk these walls up here and see more primitive stuff. But all right, pretty cool. The breeze feels good, and I think now that it's late enough in the day, most of your day hikers are heading out of here. So outside of that waterfall, I probably won't see a lot of people in the next few hours going into the night. All right, so near out here, there's no signage, but you can always tell. Usually water along the tree line. So as I'm scouting, I can see footprints over there. So I believe there's a couple creek crossings on this, whereas Big Dominguez is going to be over there. Gradually we'll go up to the top of that bluff. It's probably another 8 miles. I've been to the car camping site up there before, and in theory you can do a loop of this, but there's 7 miles that aren't marked. You gotta know bearing points, and from what I've read, dropping down in the Little is very, very difficult. I've read stories of people that turned back, others that did it, but this is much more lessly visited, I guess would be the way to say it. It's supposed to be more primitive, more bushwhacking. But again, a Rambo cabin, So I probably have about 4 miles to go up here, and then I'll start looking for a site. We'll say 4 to 6. I think there's a couple gates, a couple water crossings. I don't know, it's part of the fun since I haven't done it before, so I hope. All right, so I've been through 1 gate and 3 stream crossings, now on a wagon trail. So I'll be honest, I'm psychologically thinking, where is this cabin? Guess what? It just popped. Hard to see with this camera, but up here should be the next gated area. So definitely I could see how this was ranching land back in the day, but have to read the signs in greater detail. But people here in the late 1880s, but just a beautiful canyon, isolated. There is water. It's 2 feet deep, 4 feet across, rocks on it. So obviously a very well marked trail, but I don't think the trail goes right by the property, so I'll see if I can get a better look at it as long as the trail goes there. If it doesn't, then I'll just keep going. All right, definitely cool. You can see remnants. This guy was definitely a rancher. So over there were some burn piles back there. More machine. Man, I just can't imagine getting all this in here. Looks like these were old pens back in the day. And even way in the back there. Those are riding ones. Wow, there's 2 of them back there. Tree's not doing so well, but I bet back when he was here, great shade and doing well. How to get all that wood locally. Yeah, I guess it was all. And you can tell there's also open grazing too. Wheels. So at one time, yeah, he had this all fenced in. Rubber. It's like a plow. Wow. So both of those, the wheel, and over there, looks like to harvest hay with. So definitely a cool spot. The cabin is in good condition. And there's cow patties all over. Definitely going to treat the water. So definitely very cool. Again, I'm not here to disturb anything. Just looking. Looks like an old tin can in that log. Wow, so that's roofing material. Old saw. Yep, locked up, good. Okay, not 2 separate rooms. Fireplace. Wow, old pottery. Chains. All right, definitely very cool and all that. And it looks like he had a loft up there. All right, so I'm gonna keep on moving on. Definitely cool to see it. Can't imagine what it was like back then, but definitely back side of the cabin. And you can see that window's open, and the roofing's pretty done. And over here, wagon. It's got fresh screen in it. I'm not fresh, probably not the right word, but newish. Definitely a small wagon. Wow, that was definitely single track, but probably the trail that I was coming on. The tongue and all that is still on there. Doing wow, nailed in, but definitely cool. All right, I think it's time to, and as I'm going along, the cow patties are increasing. They don't look too old. Not a big fan of open cattle backcountry camping when there could be bulls and stuff out. So I'm obviously not looking for that, but not always what you can do. All right, so the pathway, again, I'll find it over here, and it looks like there it is. So, all right, maybe within an hour, I will start to look for my site, maybe even less. All right, so it's 4 o'clock. I've been looking for a site for a half hour. I'm actually circling back. I'm now at a beaver dam, so I cannot get back over this, so I have to go back. You can see where he's chewing right there. Those 3 little twigs right there were an inlet, so I'm gonna head back up, see if I can get over on the other side over there. I was trying to get by water, but it's really hard to find an area where it's not kind of muddy and sodden. I don't want that, but I also want to be out of natural cattle at night. So all right, I'm gonna back around. see if I can find an exit and get me a site. 30 on day 2, and I can tell you the trail's way up over there. I at least did 2.5 miles down there. I bushwhacked, I went along the wall. There's a beaver area. There's a whole area where the mud was only like a 1/2 inch thick. I think it's just water seeping. So I'm probably a good mile away. The cabin is way back there. So I went a lot further than what I thought today, but it's amazing when you're going along, you're always trying to find a site. And I can tell people have stayed here before, because that is not a fire pit for me, but it is here. A little bit of a wind block over here. You're definitely crammed in. I mean, I can't even put my flaps out, but I'll make that work. I'll level it out on the inside. But the nice thing with the water right here is I took a little mini splash bath, so I'm drying my stuff out. Just put these back on. They're a little cold down here. And I have a special gift that I noticed here. The first is a little smushed now, but we're gonna get some chips. I still have my cheese nips for tomorrow at lunch. But the best part of all is the backcountry bar is open. So I did not bring them day 1 since I was packing all the water, but today, since I'm by water. And by the way, it does have a manure-y smell to it a little bit. But that's all right. But look at this. So I think it is beer 30. So I think I'm gonna enjoy sitting in my chair, having some chips. Kind of like a little appetizer, and then I will get dinner going in a bit. So I'll check in later. Well, good evening. It is 6 o'clock, day number 2 of the trip. I am in Little Dominguez Canyon. Just made dinner, and it's taco rice, so I dehydrate all my own food, and then I make gravel, which is hamburger. So let's see how this goes. Whew. All right, a little spicy. It's good. So, rather than spending a ton of money on Mountain House and all that, you can get a food dehydrator. Make your own meals. You know exactly what's in them, how they're going to taste. And the trick at altitude, I always let them sit in my freezer bag in my foil container, and I'll always add 5-10 minutes if I'm at real altitude. This is just sort of semi-altitude. This is 5,000 feet. But really good day. It took me a lot longer to find this site than what I wanted. Saw the fire pit, but again went right past that cabin. All right, went about a mile past it, kept going. I literally was just walking the line, and I just couldn't find a spot where I'm like, all right, I can put a tent. So I'm not going to call this an ideal spot, but pretty cool 360. Nice hoodoos there. Got the sun coming down over here. Got the water in front of me so I can get cleaned up. So, all right, I'm going to enjoy dinner, get cleaned up, do some reading, and I'll probably do a recap before going to bed. Good evening. Today is Tuesday, May 5th. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Good day for me. I'm doing a really good job of social distancing, and you can tell I'm rocking the sweet haircut as well. Probably like everyone else, where we need it. You didn't think I wasn't going to have a cigar, did you? It was really, really windy the past 20 minutes, so I was kind of waiting. I got it going now, and there's actually some bugs out. But thank my dad for this one right here. This is one of the Bolivas. So maintained it very good. I bet you this cigar is 10 years old. So recap today. So the cabin is back that way, probably a mile or so. I probably went another 2.5 that way. Went backtracking. I saw beaver dams. I was going through the areas in here, so I was trying to go up on that wall, but I wanted to really be by the water. There's something about being by the water that's just refreshing and soothing. You can get cleaned up. I've done all my laundry. Since I knew there was going to be water here, my purifier is the Grail. And this is the best thing ever, because you actually force the filter through the water, and you literally get it in 15 seconds. So it tastes great. It works. So all I brought was that to purify and hold it with, and then this. So this is for my breakfast tomorrow. Coffee, oatmeal. I'll have both of these ready to go, and then I'll hit up the trail to the Big Dominguez Canyon. I've been up there before, and I went all the way to the campsite. And again, there's a way to connect these, but now's not the time. You got to be really good in the route finding with it right there. But I stayed at 2 camps. I'm going to try to make it to the further one. It was beautiful. It was all rocky, and it had nice running water, so it was a nice spot right there. So another great day. I have not seen a single person or heard a person on this entire trailhead. So after the signs, waterfall, everyone just sort of disappeared. Granted, it is on a Tuesday, but even your day hikers, I saw a couple coming back, but absolutely no one up here right now. And then the cabin back that way was certainly one of the cooler ones with all the relics and everything sit over on. So, all right, I'm gonna enjoy this cigar, just sort of look at the sun coming down. It is starting to get cool, so this is about my limit here before I gotta change and get cleaned up. But another great day, and I'll end it by saying I don't think there are bears here in this area, but I did bring my bear vault, so I'll still practice that regardless. Trash, put all that, so I've got it sitting here. I'll get everything appropriate put away tonight, and since it's a little bit after 7 right now, I bet you by 8:30 I'll read for half an hour. I'll probably be asleep by 8:30, and I'm curious if it's going to be colder here in the canyon or better. I have a little bit of a wind block, but another great day. Glad to be out, and I'll see you tomorrow on day 3. All right, good evening. It is the end of night 2, which is Cinco de Mayo, 7:15. So I will probably feel pretty good. I actually probably did a lot more miles today than I originally wanted to, because I was bushwhacking and just trying to find a site. So I think this will work, except that one is tied to the bush, and this one there's a rock right here. So as long as it's not too windy here, it won't flap too bad. And as long as the cattle doesn't try to go down this little chute right here, I should have a good night's sleep. I hope it's a little warmer tonight. Again, a first time with a quilt. The sleeping pad is great. It's the Nemo Tensor, so it's like another, what, 5 inches, so your elbows don't fall off the side. And for me, it's just getting used to using a quilt, which is very different from me. But I would give it a 9 out of 10 last night. It was the last hour. I think that's just because I was rolling with it. So tucked in with it. It's the Sierra design. So up here, it's got the handhold. So, all right, I think I'm going to read my Kindle. And again, tomorrow, it's going to be exiting Little Dominguez and then going up to the Big Dominguez Canyon. And if I recall, there were some pictographs, and there's areas where you're within a quarter mile of the water, and other times you're right on it. So I remember the last time I was there, my first site was not great, but I wanted to be by the water, and I found a second site which I thought was really good. So I'm going to try to make it all the way to that site, and then spend the night there tomorrow. So, all right, we'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Good morning. It is Wednesday, May 6th, and I've got one more day, so I'm still in Little Dominguez Canyon. Gonna head back down to the intersection and head up Big Dominguez Canyon. And just did my route calculation. It looks like it's 10.15 to the site that I want to go to. So gonna do my best to make it there today. Should be water there as well. Interesting sight last night. The winds kind of died down once the sun went down. And then I've only been in the sun over here for about a half hour now, so 9:30ish. So all cleaned up, ready to go, and I noticed as I was getting my water, coyote tracks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pretty big right there. Big pup out here. All right, so I gather my stuff up. Say sayonara to the site again, which was right here. A little bit of an incline. It worked, and slept really well last night as well. So I'm definitely a big fan of the wider, what is it, a Nemo Tensor insulated to go with my quilt as well. So slept really, really good. And one last look at this particular site. So I should be heading by the cabin area here, in about a half hour or so. So I probably won't do a lot of filming until I get back to the intersection and see some new territory. So, all right, off for day 3. All right, so I'm not even a half hour into the hike, but I'm actually on a different trail on the way back. So I'm closer to the walls over here, and as you can see, trekking poles are actually pretty nice in here, because you kind of, as you're walking, put them out in front of you. You can kind of move all this brush away from you right there. But again, time of the day when the rattlers and stuff should be out, so as you're walking, you're kind of looking down and at the same time enjoying the scenery. Over here on the rockfall areas, it's still in the shade. I bet it's got another hour and a half before it really sees light over there. But seeing if there's any mountain goats, rams, there's got to be something out here. So not a lot of wildlife outside of the lizards, but the trail that I took coming in, it's less than 100 yards over there. So I'm actually, the creek is between us and the trail I took the other day. So makes it interesting, and in theory you get a little bit different scenery, and it's obviously a very wide and easy to walk path. I can see people have been down here with horses before. At some point I'm going to have to cross a stream. I think I did it 3 times yesterday, maybe 4. That was including my bushwhacking now. So yep, here's my first crossing now. So when you come to these areas, look at that. I've got some rocks over here. So with the sun, pretty clear water, but again, it's I'm not going to call it cow water. It's a higher quality in that, but it's definitely got the animal runoff and stuff area here. So all right, I'm going to make my crossing and keep heading in that direction, and then hopefully 3-4 miles I'll be at the mouth of that camp. All right, time for a 10 o'clock shade break. So I was spending so much time in the trail over here that looked very different. So if you look in this shot here, the big hoodoo to the left of that is Little Dominguez. Big Dominguez goes to the right. I walked this whole creek area past the trees over there, and it has a sharp bend to the right, and you're literally looking at the area that I shot yesterday that had like the cattle from the ranchers and stuff like that. So I overshot my canyon, so now I'm going to go way back down there, but I'm going to take the right turn to get into Big Dominguez. So that's one of the things when you're exploring a new area is you don't always get to see everything that you want. Although the nice thing about coming back here again is yesterday I did not spot this. So this obviously is a modern cowboy shelter, I'll call it. So at some point in time somebody was using this just to kind of, I would assume, temporary shelter. Ooh, gotta have some trust in that rock though, huh? Yeah, I think I'll stick with my tent and all that bet. All right, so I'm gonna grab my poles and head back. About 10:15 right now. Now I'm definitely well into the right trail. So coming from that direction way down there, if you notice, the topography is starting to change. So there's water right over there, just not always easy to get to it. The cactus are starting to come out and bloom. Some of them are flowering on top, I'd say within a week or so. So I'm still heading in that direction now. The mesa, the very highest point, that's eventually, I think, where there's a trailhead with car camping. So I've been to there before. I'm not doing that today. So you can tell this trail, it literally keeps going up. More modern structure here. And unfortunately, I think it was 3 years ago last time I was here, like a wind block. And a lot of these rock areas have vandalism, I guess is what I would call it. I wouldn't call it modern graffiti. It's vandalism, I think, of kids putting their name and everything. So yeah, sheltered area in here from the wind. So the other thing that really pops when you're doing this hike is there is no shade. So I remember last time I was doing it, obviously you want to be by water, but also in an area where there's shade. So I was able to find that, but it's just a little bit of work. So definitely appropriately named Big Dominguez Canyon. There were two people behind me, quarter mile or so, right when I about turned around by the rock where I took the shade break. I saw them coming, so I would still say I'm social distancing out here. All right, I'll check in, and eventually, maybe within an hour or so, I'll enter sections where I think where the sand and rock actually turns black. So I'll want to hoof it through there because it'll get hot soon. And this, I think at one point, was like a Tyrannosaurus and they had teeth on it. Yeah, people have been through here and unfortunately vandalized it. So here's an area of historical significance. Pictographs, a little bit of signage about it. Oh yeah, it's an active wall. For the most part not touched, although I see some graffiti here. Think about how much time it took to do that and how many people were standing here when that was going on. Not very high up either. Just for kicks, let's watch the whole thing. Nice shade over here. I think that is it. All right, definitely cool. There's a lot of ups and downs on this hike. So in a general sense, it is uphill, but you have little points like this where you get a little reprieve as well. I'd say 3% for the most part. Every now and then a 5, but not bad at all. It's just that it's all in the sun. All right, definitely hot. And the first time on my 3-day trip where I'd say right now, I'm actually sweating and it's pretty hot out. So I'll be looking for shade and a water break within the next hour or so, but cool alcove area, or a semi-alcove. So definitely a lot of ups and downs. I still haven't hit the area where it was all black rock, but it's got to be coming up pretty soon. So outside of the two hikers that I saw when I was on that wrong turn, haven't seen anyone, so I haven't been within 100 yards of anyone in almost a solid day now. And really, the only two people I conversed with are the two hikers and Rattlesnake and Pollock. Some more black chunks. I'm also looking both sides because it's such a huge canyon for mountain goats, rams, whatever they are. Nothing, and it's probably getting hot enough soon where they're probably going to be bedding down and come out in the evening. All right, I'll check in maybe once I get some shade. About 11:15, another alcove, just to give you an idea of the height that is above me right now. So this is about in the canyon as far to the right, as close as you get to it, really right at the base of it right now, which means I'm also about as far away as water as you are in the hike as well. So the last 15 minutes, it's pretty much been uphill, just sort of flattened out right here. But I'd say the toughest part of the hike was definitely the last 15 minutes. So if I can get an area where I get close to the water, get some shade, I'm gonna take my first break of the day. Definitely, as far as all my hikes go, definitely the hottest. And I think it's because of the topography too, so it's starting to change now and get more into these dark rocks. So still haven't made the turn yet, getting close to it, maybe an hour away. So all right, once I take a break, I'll check in by water. All right, so I found some shade. It's also a archaeological site. It's got some pictographs. Coming the other way, you definitely see it, but from the way I was just coming from, not necessarily if you weren't looking for shade. So most of this looks real, although there's, as usual, graffiti. Is that real? 1858. Looks like it's predominantly that side of it. Like an antelope or a deer. Wow, some of it's really, really low too. And I had to sit in the ground to do that. So nothing really, really high up. Looks like a coyote or a wolf. Definitely neat though. All right, so I'm gonna take a mini break, and I got a nice little breeze right now that just picked up. So I'm gonna enjoy hanging out here for about 5 minutes or so and keep on marching up the hill. Free lizard. Don't know the species of that, but gorgeous color. If you're into lizards, that's the kind you want. All right, so still kind of going uphill right now. Terrain is definitely changing, and I hope to, I would say it's 11:30 now, so hopefully about 2 more hours of hiking I should be where I'm going. Okay, I'm at another structure here. 69. Combination of modern graffiti, probably the real stuff. Nice horse right there. And this, definitely a wind salter. Some old tin cans, probably beans back in the day. So I'm thinking, wow. Even some artifacts from them here. Some point, I guess it looks like you got in through, and it's just my question, like, how do you get in this place? Right through here. Pretty neat, but people have been here before, obviously, with fires not too long ago. This is also an area where there was mining, so I think as I come around the corner, another one of the lizards, not with quite the color. So this actually was like a mining camp right here. Whew. Imagine hauling that damn thing in here. So I think if you take the trail down, there's a little bit more. Yeah, I can see this here. But last time I was here, you could actually stand. It was gated off. You could actually stand on, there it is right there. So if you look right there, that's the actual shaft. One of the tools right there, so kind of neat. All right, so it's high noon right now. A little bit of cloud cover helps out a little bit, getting a little breeze every now and then, but still feeling all right. But I would still like to make today my shorter day, and hopefully by 2 o'clock be at my destination. All right, so there's a lot of false bluffs, so you can see, you can't even see where I was earlier. So I'm now at that elevation profile. Cool structures ahead. I actually went through an area about 2 miles ago called Cactus Park, and there was 3 sites, and there's actually signs posted. Those were not there last time. I looked at all 3 of them. They're nice. They're all in the open sun, and the water is 100 feet lower that way. So eventually this trail, even though it really has me right now, walking away from it, will intersect with it. And that's where I'm really looking to go. And I'm starting to get a little tuckered out now, those extra miles this morning. Yeah, taking a little bit of a toll. It's hot out here. But once I make it there, it will be worth it. Unless just something pops to me that's new. And it's like, wow, this is really cool. So, a little tired, but so far so good. All right, so it's been a while since I've shot a video. It is about 4 o'clock on day 3. And I am at my site, and I noticed there was more markers and posts. So it looks like they kind of want you to go to designated sites now. So the site I was before, probably a mile further. I didn't go there, so I saw this site. I get a good breeze. I was in the tent for about 20 minutes. Right now it's too hot. I was gonna take like a little power nap, but too hot, but everything is set up in there. So water is straight ahead of me. I'll take you down to there. There's a little bit of a jaunt to go down the hill, but again, this is a site that has been used, and the idea is we'll just take one area, kind of utilize that. I've already made 1 trip down to water. I washed all my clothing, including myself. It's always a little strange when you do that out in the middle of the woods, hoping no one is around, but I did that as well. So I had one of these power drinks. So tonight I'm gonna fill this for my dinner tonight, and tomorrow it'll be a Pop-Tart day, but I'll probably still have coffee. I do like coffee in the morning. So here's the downward descent. So I'm not saying it's super easy. And I got a couple beers down there now. So I'm gonna go down there, get water so I have it ready for tonight. I'll probably bring one of those up. I've got my Kindle, and I'm just gonna kind of enjoy sitting in the breeze and enjoy being out here. The entire day today, I did walk by 2 hikers coming down, and not a lot of social interaction there. It was kind of a hi, and both kept on going. So I almost went 24 hours without seeing other people. All right, I am back at camp. Got a nice breeze kind of coming from swirling this way. Got my pills drink, which tastes great. So a half hour in that stream definitely cooled it down. I may have another cigar. That will be after dinner. But so I'm not going to read my Kindle, just sort of chill out. So today's hike, obviously because I was in Little Dominguez Canyon further up than I had planned, it added to it. And then literally I was kind of laughing about it when I saw the 2 people. I'm like, wait a minute. I passed it because I took a different path back. So sometimes that happens. So I'm within a mile of where I've stayed before, and I'll admit I must have passed right by this site before, didn't see anything, but now they have those posting markets up. It kind of lets you know where they want you to stay. So I'm curious if where I was before was marked for that or not. I guess I won't know. All right, so I'm going to chill out, read for maybe about a half hour, and I'll probably start getting dinner going about 4:30. I am at 6,500 feet, and it feels different. Like I said, I'm sure it will cool off tonight, so it may freeze. So I made sure my filter, you always want to make sure you put those to bed dry. So in case it does freeze, if it freezes and cracks, they're pretty much shot. So I cleaned that out. So for tonight, all I have is 32 ounces of water. I've got a couple of these. If I need to make more trips down there, I certainly will. So I'll check in after dinner. Good evening. So it's about 5:30 dinner time, so I'm having jambalaya, and I have some brats in here that you get at Sam's Club, and these are the habanero ones, so they're pretty hot. But this is just, I think it's the Zatarian's mix, and I dehydrated at home. And since I'm at altitude of 6,500 feet, I'll let it go 20 minutes, and it's perfect. The sauce is thickening up, so this actually tastes really, really good. For dessert, I've got a second helping of the apple crisp I had the other night, and then it'll definitely be good on food. I'll probably make 2 more trips down to the water, because again, since it does have a semi-berry feeling being in this area. I don't know what they're eating, but just being at this altitude and all that, it's possible I won't even have the smell of like a beer can. So I will rinse everything out. I'll appropriately put it away. I went down again and I washed my pack in the stream. Everything is really dusty and dirty and all that, but maybe gonna have a cloud cover tonight. Not sure exactly on the weather, but I don't think any storms. It may actually make it warmer, so it should be a colder night being at altitude. But all right, I'm gonna enjoy dinner, dessert, and get cleaned up, and I'll probably do a final recap in the tent. Thought I'd show you a view of my dining hall as well. Pretty cool view over here. So if I'm at 6,500, I'm gonna say that's 7. It's gotta be a 500 incline. And then the trail is down that way. So obscured a little bit, but another nice vista there. And then behind me is the tent and just the usual right there. So I'm probably within 4 miles of the car camping area right there. And last time I went up there, it's a pretty cool car camping area, but it's dirt roads. And supposedly the two canyons connected at 7 miles are partial roads going overland. You have to have really good mapping. And you'd probably want to do that with another person as well. And it's a dry section. But all right, overall, a pretty good day. It was definitely the hottest day of the trip. So if you're coming out here, I think May is fine. But once you really get into June, July, and August, you just got to be ready for it and be hiking either early or in the later evening. Right now at 5:30, it feels absolutely fine. The breeze helps out with the bugs and all that, so I'll probably be getting cleaned up, making a couple trips down there. But this is my apple crisp, and I think I actually got that recipe from REI online. The only thing I would say is I probably put in a little too much clove, but otherwise it tastes great. I ate about 80% of my other meal, put it back in the bag, so I will definitely clean that out. So I'll check in later on in the tent. Good evening. It is 6:45 p.m. on Wednesday, May 6th. Feels weird not working in the middle of the week, but certainly nice to be out here. So on this entire trail today, once I actually entered Big Dominguez, again, I only saw the 2 backpackers, so definitely no issue with the social distancing out here. And I made it. I'm about 4 miles probably from the camping spot area within 1 mile of where I've camped before. But again, the signs were new to me, and it is a good site. It is an elevated platform, so the water is definitely a jaunt to get down there, but easy to get. Not incredibly worried about bears, really. I just don't see food yet. It'll be out maybe in a month. You're not seeing any natural vegetation, but a lot of times you'll do these hikes and you'll see celery and rhubarb, and even the cacti, the tops of them will be flowering. They're not doing that yet, so not really worried about it. But either way, nothing here in my tent prepared for. So overall, today was by far the hottest day, and it got off to a weird start today. I'm looking at my legs here, bushwhacking wise. They're pretty cut up, and I just cannot wear pants when I hike. Something about it I do not like. It doesn't matter if it's cold or what it is, but today would have been a good example of, even if I had the zip-ons for the first hour and a half or so, it probably would have been a good idea, although those would have been cut up and destroyed. So I'm going to read my Kindle here, and probably tonight I'll make it my early night. So I bet you by, again, I have an hour and 15 minutes. By 8, I'll probably start getting ready for bed. It's still hot enough now. I'm not touching any of my sleep gear yet. I'll actually even kind of sit right here. That's why I do like the 2-person tent as well, because I have room. My sleep system is all over here, and I can kind of sit right here. But again, another really, really good day in the area. It was just a hot one. There is cloud cover, so maybe that'll give me a little bit of a thermal blanket tonight. I don't hear thunder. I don't see anything like that. But in a real wide canyon, there would be areas that could be a little dicey, but I wouldn't be worried about it if I was like in a narrowed-in tunnel. So, all right, I'll see you tomorrow in the morning, and usually I'll do a quicker start on my departure day. So coffee, yeah, I'll still make that, but otherwise it'll be Pop-Tart, pack everything up, get my water ready, and again, I only need it to get to the car, so I'm not really worried about a lot, but hopefully I can get up and get out of camp by, 8 in the morning would be nice. So hopefully an early start. Morning. It is Thursday, May 7th. 4th day of the trip, 3 nights done. So today is departure day. So pack camp up. I did not have my coffee today. I'm trying to get out of here by 8, and it's just a touch before 8. Looks like I got everything. So it was actually kind of a strange night last night. I didn't even get into my quilt until about 10:30. It was hot. And right here, like my tent is orange inside of it. It was almost like there was a light on. And then I did use it again about 10:30 or so, but didn't need to wrap very tightly. So it was probably the warmest night actually, even though I'm at the highest elevation. So today, back to the trailhead, which is somewhere over here. Here we go. So again, there were signs marked over here about the next few sites. I'm gonna give you a nice 360 here. Had my jacket on earlier. Just took all that off. Once you start hiking, you'll warm up. Right now it's perfect. So I'm heading many miles that way. A beautiful morning. And really, outside of a few birds, the only life I've seen out here that was interesting, I did see a roadrunner yesterday. Never seen one before. And he saw me and just took off, so I couldn't film it. But otherwise, not a lot of animal life. All right, so since I shot most of this, I'll pick out things here and there that I didn't get on my way up and get on my way. All right, not too far along into the hike, but reminder, I am in Colorado, so there's always an uphill. So even though the overall profile is downhill on this route, it is a lot of constant ups and downs. So here's one of the major sections. The sun's not beating on it too bad now, so not nearly as hot, but when I got to this yesterday, it was scorching, probably 20 degrees hotter. So, all right, marching on. This is about an hour into the hike, making good progress on the way back. I've only stopped once, and another time for a video, but otherwise, heading in that direction. So Colorado River is gonna be right on over there. And then as we pass on through here, you can't see, but it actually bends around the corners over there. So there's false flats to this hike as you do go up. You think you're at the maximum height and you're really not, but gang trail is easily marked. Rocks all over it, so you gotta keep your heads up, but just a general 360 of the place. Very peaceful, and again, absolutely nobody here. All right, beautiful breeze. You can tell I am approaching the Colorado River because I'm at the confluence of trail junctions. So again, Little Dominguez follows. Big Dominguez I'm on now. You can also, just by the topography, of course I just lost that view. As I round the corner here, you might see some of the green trees that are a lighter shade of green, literally following the entire Colorado River over there. Surprised I haven't seen anyone yet today, but I guarantee I will once I get closer to the railroad tracks area. But all right, my goal was to make the hike in 3 hours, and so far I'm right on marks to that. Although I can tell I'm running out of gas. All I've had to eat today was a Pop-Tart, so by the time I get there, it'll be a journey that was well worth the effort, but great time. And again, great views in this area. Really, really is. All right, so I am now at the bridge. It means I'm within 2 miles of the parking lot area. The remainder of this hike is just walking along a railroad track, nothing too exciting. So a great trip overall. 2 different major destinations. First day was Fruita, Colorado, Pollock and Rattlesnake Canyon. Saw some old ruins and cabins there. Did not get to see the arches that I wanted to. I'll try that some other time. And then today and yesterday, it was Little Dominguez and Big Dominguez Canyon. Social distancing was no problem. That's the first person I've seen today, and I didn't even really walk by them. But there are rafting companies, I guess, that have spots where you can camp up by the mouth up there. So overall, state parks are closed, national parks are closed. There's still places that you can go to and be, you know, socially distant, efficient methods, etc. I'll have to buy gas on the way out, but that's pretty much my only contact until I get home. So, all right, it was a great trip, and I hope the video turns out well.